Happy 4th of July to everybody. Happy 4th of July to all you that are down the Lake of the Ozarks. I sort of appreciate you letting me know you're going to be there. And the other part of me was like, I want to go. But wherever you are around the world, I'm glad you're there. And I hope you're having fun. And I'm just grateful for everybody who took their 4th of July weekend to stay in town, just so they could come here to the Center for Spiritual Living in St. Louis, Missouri. So if you're around the world or you're in another state, I just want to bless you and just know that today is divine and that you are divine. So we have a few announcements. Tom Moore is going to share with you some things that are coming up. Here's Tom. Oh, before you do that, Tom, I'm going to... Somebody left their clothes. Their clothes last week at the festival. And they're cute. It looks like Tracy's. Well, here, Tracy! Yay! One other thing, I want to thank you, everybody who was involved in the incredible festival we had a week ago Saturday. It was incredible, and we sent money to the Red Cross International in Switzerland to go to the Ukraine to help the refugees there. And how much do we make, Marcia? Over $4,300. So everybody, you get a hand for that. Thank you. Thank you for all your help and all you've done. And here's Tom.
All right, good morning. You wouldn't know it's summer. There's a lot going on here, so listen up. Here we go. Reverend Larry has a class coming up. Masters of Prosperity, starting Thursday, July 14th. It goes for 4 weeks. The class time is from 6:30 to 9 and will be presented here in person at CSL. It's not an online class, although you sign up online. The suggested donation is $150. Payment plans are available. Do you want to come up and tell us about it, Larry? Does that pretty well cover it? Okay. Get prosperous. Yeah. The Go Euro Go food truck and Destination Desserts, another truck, which is a local nonprofit that benefits the Center for those with head injuries. And they'll be here on our lot Wednesday, July 20th. Go Euro Go, if you've been to any of these food truck things, they've been really good. And Emerson Magana is performing that same time. We're asking a donation of $10 for that. And get him while you can, because Emerson's heading back to Mexico pretty shortly after that. We want to thank everybody who contributed to the paving back there in the parking lot. We're still raising money to finish the payment because we've got a chunk of it paid, but we got a ways to go. Michelle Conley Brown will hold her Reiki healing session here Friday, July 22nd at 7 p.m. She welcomes all healers and whoever is seeking healing relief. She's asking a donation of $20, and please sign up in the Rising Thought bookstore for that. Carlos Shear's father recently passed away. We're having a memorial here next Saturday at 10 a.m., and there are donation cards to honor his memory out there in the lobby and in the bookstore. There's a special barbecue of hot dogs and veggie burgers. Reverend Larry's going to take care of that and has a team helping out. I'm reading what's here. I don't know. Yeah. You've been drafted. Okay. So it's all for next Sunday, our second Sunday lunch, July 10th, and stay after to connect and hang out and meet people and all that. There will be a fee. Okay, so don't bring anything. We'll talk about that later. And so we're providing all the food. It's not like most of the second Sundays where, it's potluck. So we still need your help in the bookstore. Anybody who's interested in helping out in there, it's really not a difficult, complex thing to learn. And we just need help on the second and third Sundays for just half an hour on each of those Sundays from 12 to 12:30. And Michelle Connolly Brown is training the folks who might want to do that. We still have bracelets to support Ukraine in the bookstore. We now have small sizes, and this all goes to help the refugees over there. Anybody here for the first time? We've got a little gift for you if you are, and if not, then we'll move on to music, I guess, or the prayer. Yes.
Good morning, CSL. How are you guys? Who's busy? Who's got a lot going on? Is everybody pretty busy? Everybody got pretty much got a lot going on? Yeah, I know all about it. So this week I was thinking about my prayer, and my name is Michelle Connolly Brown. I'm here at the center. I do the prayer occasionally. And so all week I was thinking about what prayer I wanted to do, because this is a really exciting time in my life, and I have a lot going on, like a lot of you do, and all kinds of stuff that's actually going to be changing the whole course of my life. So I thought, what kind of prayer do I want to do? What do I want to do? What do I want to say? And I was writing things down, and I was doing some thinking. I did some connection to spirit, and then when I woke up in the morning, a memory popped up on Facebook, and it was a prayer that I had written years ago, and it had popped up as a memory because I had shared it on Facebook. So I thought I would share that today. I don't usually read the prayer, but this one was special to me. And I would like you to know that I'm setting the intention that as I speak my word with I statements, I am including each and every one of us here in this room, each and every one of us out here in the universe, each and every one of us right here watching us streaming, and maybe those who are tuning in later. This is to reach everyone, and I'm speaking my word for us all. Take a breath. I move into that place of quiet, that place of peace, that place of ultimate connection to the divine, knowing there is only one light, one love, and one God. I am one with this consciousness, and I allow it to direct my life and my choices every day. I ceaselessly and easily use my connection to the divine to replenish my supply of love. I love unconditionally any animal, all plant, all mineral, and all man. I come from a place of love and service in all my affairs. I am in line with the divine and living my most amazing life for the greater good of the planet and all its inhabitants. I send Reiki, love, light, healing, joy, wisdom, and peace to each and every individual connected soul in the universe. I heal and laugh and spread my triumph to each individual soul in the universe via my cosmic connection to them. I honor and love all the time. Thank you for these abundant gifts. Thank you for my life. Thank you for the honor to serve. Thank you for the new growth in my life that CSL has helped me to nurture and give to. I am so very thankful. Thank you for everyone within earshot, knowing that I release my words into the law, and it is done. And so it is.
Hi, I'm Gwen Hobbs, and I have your thought for the week. Our three greatest needs are to feel that we are needed, wanted, and loved, and to feel that we belong in the universe in which we live. This is from the Science of Mind magazine.
And now our special music today that I want us all to applaud. She hasn't been here in a while. She's gone through a lot of changes, and I'm so glad to have you back. Lady J! Yay!
Hello, everyone. How are you today? Just say good. Just good. You're looking good. I'm feeling good. And I am so happy to be back here. As Reverend Mary Jean stated, I think I haven't been on this stage in 2 years. Yeah. Nervous with COVID. Doctor didn't want me around anyone. And then just stuff happened. And so I'm happy to be back and to be part of the patriotic celebration. Those with red, white, and blue get an extra star. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Thank you.
Yay! You were great. And now David Flay has an announcement for us. Thank you so much for coming today. Emerson was going to be singing today, but it wasn't quite the same having Emerson from Mexico singing God Bless America. So he's going to be here next week, and I'm so glad you could change weeks and be here. Thank you. So here's David.
Yeah, good day, and happy 4th of July. We've actually had some stars on today. I will say that I'm going to keep track of this every week, and just so you have an update on it, we have now moved to my first tiny little part here at $7,510.
Yay!
So it still looks like it's way down there, but I know there's some angels out there that are watching this. If you're online looking at this, remember we can get online, we can donate, we take cash and credit cards and bookstore. And I wanted to share one idea with everyone here. As a financial planner every year, I talk to people about the required minimum distribution. And have your advisor directly transfer that money to CSL. And you won't pay any taxes on it, but if you took it and for yourself and then you wrote us a check, you'd have to pay the tax. So this is something that, if it's not you, maybe it's somebody that you know in your family that, well, enjoys the pride that we have here. Because I don't know about you, but I'm much more likely to be inviting more people when they don't get to the parking lot. I think it's like, it's been bombed out. So that's really a level of pride, and that's my one idea for you that, so if you're in that group, call me, I'll tell you how to do it, because you won't pay taxes on it, and we won't pay taxes on it, and it's all good.
Thank you. Thank you, David. David's become a life, he's our announcement person now. For any time we need money, that's David. I just want to welcome all of you. It's been a while since I've actually spoken here, because the month of June we did Mind, and you know, Larry is such an expert on Mind that one Sunday I was supposed to speak, and I went, Larry, I don't want to ruin your train of thought. So he got the whole month of June. That was kind of neat. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry. You were wonderful. So this month is on relationships. And today it's a relationship to yourself. We have a choice of self-love, self-hatred, self-disgust. But today we're going to talk about how we can move into self-love in a new way. You know, I was last night asking the universe, please help me, Ernest. What should I say about this? And Alma started speaking to me. When I can't sleep at night, sometimes I imagine myself in her arms and she's just holding me saying, my daughter, my daughter, my daughter, my daughter. And so last night, when she was talking to me, one of the things we talk about unconditional loving ourselves, sometimes we do it from the ego. And Alma said, teach them to do it selflessly, from selfless love. And I thought, okay. So I got up this morning, I started reading her book on selfless love versus that ego that thinks you're taking care of yourself. And when you move into selfless love, things begin changing in your life. You have to stop judging. That's one of the prime requisites. And I want to tell you, I've been in a little bit of judgment by some of the laws that are being passed, and I feel like, you know, women are losing their freedom, and I wasn't even going to put a flag out, and I was never going to wear red again, and, you know, I was real dramatic about it. And then I thought, wait a minute. If I judge it, I'll keep it in place. If I instead move to the opportunity to see it as a process of movement, that maybe what'll happen is that women will get even more rights by the time this is all over with. And that that's my prayer, yes. And I know it's the ego that wants to say, stop, don't do that. But if we really get into that place of selflessness, we can look at it like, okay, whatever has happened has happened. It's not complete. It's unfolding. How can I help? If I can't fix the problem, how can I be part of the solution? How can I assist other people? And then there are stories that have come up that have just made me cry about the teenager that went to the doctor. She was having an ectopic pregnancy, and the doctor had to call his lawyer before he could treat her, and by the time he got back to her, she passed away. This happened the day after that law went into effect here in Missouri. And I'm like, I lived in the 60s and 70s before they had women's rights, women's health rights. And there were a lot of people dying. There was some teenager the other day that missed the deadline in Texas and took out a gun and shot herself because she couldn't get into a doctor. Now, what we have to do as spiritual lights is we have to begin doing something to help those that need help. And you know, last week Larry was talking about Molly's Garage. Was that right, Larry? Molly's Garage? Oh, Rosie. I changed her name to Molly. That's right. He kept saying, no, it's Rosie. I kept saying, I like Molly better. I thought maybe CSL could have like a Molly's Garage, or we could call it Mary's Garage. And what it means is a place where people can go and share and talk about what's going on if they need help, if they know somebody that needs help. And after I began putting this out, somebody called and said their cousin wanted to commit suicide. Can I help him? I said, I can put him in prayer, and you can bring her in Tuesday, and I'll talk to her. And it's almost like Mary's Garage is open to be able to help those that are going through trauma. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So you can all help me and be part of Mary's Garage. And we can come up with other ideas of how we can help our community, what we can do differently. And I came up about 4 just sitting there, and I kept saying, Larry, can you do this? Can you do that? And so now I need other people to help. In fact, if there's anybody that wants to help barbecue next Sunday, Larry would appreciate it, because I put his name on that too. But you know, I know the joy that I get from being in service. How many of you felt joy being in service last week at the festival? We had so many people in service. Letty J sang. She was amazing. I've never seen so many people show up being in service. Marcia handled all the people that came inside to help, give them name tags and give them bracelets. And Cora, who ran the whole festival, Cora, we want to thank you again for that. Thanks, Cora. What I know is that you can't be in service unless you love yourself. If you don't like yourself, you can't be in service to anybody else. You know why? Because the way you feel about yourself, that vibration moves out. And that vibration, if you have judgment against yourself, if you have self-talk that says, I'm unworthy. You know, the other day, Marcia and I were having this discussion. We both said, you know, we're kind of done with life. We've done everything we want, and if we moved on, so what? And you know, when I was talking to Amma, you know what Amma said? You're not done until you're enlightened. So, Marcia, that was for you, too. I know. I know. Oh, well, we're not done. You're not done until you're enlightened. And you're not enlightened until you begin living selflessly. You begin living, what that means is from that inner core of spirit, from that place that absolutely loves. I know that it's been hard to stay out of judgment sometimes with everything happening that appears to be affecting our women in this country and the environment in this country and voting in this country. So what if we began still affirming that somehow, some way, this universal presence is moving us to more rights than we ever had before? That women run the country, and that women are president, and they're governor of every state. We can move them into governors. And that we begin taking care of the environment. That nobody can stop us from taking care of the environment. And that no one can stop us from voting. If people need a ride to vote, I'll personally take them. Mary's Garage. Larry's Garage. Actually, this year I have to vote before voting day because I am leaving that day for Egypt. Yeah, they're abducting me. But I will work up until that day, and I'll help you. And you know, one of the things I admire about Joni, also, she is so committed to having people have a voice in this government that she reminds me and us here at CSL of how to make sure you're registered to vote, how to make sure you know how to vote. She doesn't tell you what to vote on, but just that you can vote. See, that's part of the freedom of loving yourself. You love yourself when you say, I not only care about me, I care about this planet. Some people say, oh, it's no use voting. Have you ever heard people say that? I know people that have never voted. No use, doesn't matter. It does matter. I mean, there have been races won by 15 people in this country. It does matter. But it matters for your soul. It matters inside because you're saying, wow, I love my life. I love me. Therefore, I love those around me. I'm going to make the best decisions I can to create a world that works for everyone. That's what the Center for Spiritual Living is all about, a world that works for everyone. And you know, when we look at the message of Jesus, love one another even as I have loved you. I personally think Jesus would be horrified at what's going on if he came back. He'd be having little groups. He'd come to Mary's garage. He'd say, how can I help? Because that's what he was about. Who can we help? Help the disenfranchised. That's what he was about. And so I never understand people saying, oh, we're Christian, but we don't like you, and we don't like you, and we don't like you. How can you say that? I can say I'm Christian when I'm following the words of Jesus. Love one another even as I have loved you. I mean, he was, if you haven't read the Bible, go ahead and read it. Go ahead and read it. I used to read just the red letter Bible because that was what Jesus said. Most of what he said. You know, even scholars go, some of what's in the Bible he never said, but the scribes would embellish it because it sounded better. But what he was consistent with was to love one another, to take care of those less fortunate. And every time you do, you're doing it for me. That's what our country is about. That's why I'm a firm believer in women's health care, because whatever you're doing for other people, you're helping them, you're helping that divine. Which is not anything I had on my talk. Yay, now let's see. Okay, that was my opening. So one of the things that I did yesterday, I listened to the Northwestern graduate commencement speaker. Her name was Isabel Wilkerson. She was the first African American to win the Pulitzer Prize in Literature. And she gave the commencement speech. Now you think, oh, on Saturday I'm probably out sunbathing, but I'm not. I want to get prepared. I want to know what are people saying around the world. I listened to a rabbi, his whole talk about freedom for women. So one of the things that the rabbi said is that in Judaism, it's considered a baby when the first breath is taken, and that they believe in saving the mother before the fetus. And in Christianity, in Catholicism, I grew up hearing that same thing. Now, they don't say it anymore because the evangelicals have absconded almost all the religions in this country. But I was taught as a child, it's the first breath. It's the breath of God. And so right now, the Jewish rabbi and the Jewish people are like, wait a minute, you took away our rights of our religion. So it's a bigger conversation they're having about it. And so anyway, the rabbi was fabulous. I loved that. And then going back to Isabel Wilkerson, she acknowledged the 50-year graduation of those from the class in 1970. Do you believe 1970 was 50 years ago? No, it seems like yesterday. So I'm not the only one, huh? To go 50 years? Oh my gosh. Okay. She taught about the 6 million who left this country who sought asylum in other countries because of the Jim Crow laws of the South. She talked about World War I to the 1970s. She said to these students, never let anyone tell you what you can't do, because you can do anything you want. And here is this woman, she says, I am witnessing for other women. I'm not happy that they are saying no to women's health. And our fundamental freedom and the possibility of prison for women and doctors, we're witnessing voter enfranchisement being dismantled. We're witnessing climate change changing. And she was like talking to all these students, and they kept clapping because they understood. They are our next generation. There are new kids to vote. And that stadium was filled with people that they want voting rights. They want our country to be healthy and have climate change on the back burner, not happening, and we want to get it handled. And they want women's health. Women's health is different from I'm pro-abortion or I'm pro-life. Women's health is about I am for women's health. So somebody said, you know, the Supreme Court didn't take it away, they just gave it to states. And they said, okay, if you gave it to states, why don't you give it to cities? Why don't you give it to counties? Why don't you give it to the women who you're talking about? And I'm like, yeah, we're just talking about health, mental health, physical health, spiritual health, financial health. You know what changed in this country when they had Roe versus Wade is women could get a job and not be fired when they got pregnant because they didn't have to get pregnant. They began using birth control also, which they're talking about getting rid of. I don't actually know why somebody wants 50 million more unwanted children when there's already like 400,000 in our system right now. I don't quite understand. But if Mary's Garage can help some women, then that's what Mary's Garage will do. Because we have to do something bigger outside of just ourselves. And when we love ourselves so much because we know that the divine is our life, we know that the divine is everyone's life, we know that if somebody's in trouble and they're wanting to commit suicide, that we are there to help them. There's somebody right now who doesn't have any money for a car, and Henry's like, I can't work, I can't go to the doctor, I don't have a car. So we had some people that sent Henry some money. If somebody has an extra car, Henry could use it till his car gets fixed. I mean, we have to really be thinking, how can we help each other? Because we can't rely on the government to help us. We really should have never been able to. It's about each other, loving each other, and you can't love another until you love yourself. So what's your self-talk? What do you say about yourself? Oh, I'm too clumsy. Oh, I didn't do that right. I used to say I can't cook. My husband used to say I can't cook. And then I started cooking. It's like, you're not going to tell me I can't cook. I'll cook. Okay, to be fair, I didn't want to cook. I was grateful Larry cooked. But then I thought, you know what? I'm tired of that label. I'm tired of the self-talk that said I can't cook. So what is your self-talk saying about you? What is it saying that, you know, I used to say, whenever I cook, I gain weight. And it's like, why? Because I cooked brownies. So I'm looking at my self-talk. We're talking about being spiritual beings, loving unconditionally. There was a story that Amma tells about these monks that had a monastery in France. And the head monk was very spiritual. He really was in contact with God. But the head monk passed away. And pretty soon the monks started bickering among each other. They noticed that the people that used to come picnic on the grounds stopped showing up. They didn't like each other. The monastery was dwindling. So finally that new head monk said, I'm going to go get help from the wise person that lives in the woods that is a spiritual guru. I'm going to go see what's going on. So he left and traveled all the way up this mountain and talked to the guru and said, what can I do? Our monastery is shrinking and the people aren't coming and everyone's bickering all the time and gossiping all the time. And the monk said, well, do you know that among you is a spiritual light? Among you is a Christ. Among you is a person who is so elevated they know who they are. They're a spiritual light. And the monk starts saying, well, it can't be Brother Francis. He complains all the time. Can't be Brother Thomas. He's lazy. And he went on, and he has something wrong with all of them. And the wise man kept saying, no, you don't understand. Among you is the Christ. So he went back and he told all the monks in the monastery, one of you is the Christ. One of you is here to enlighten all of us. One of you is here to remind us that the power and presence of Spirit is our very life. To remind us that we're here as a team, all of us. And then monks started treating each other with respect. They started loving each other again. Because they're like, wow, I better be nice to him. He could be the Christ. And it changed their whole monastery, because what happens when you begin treating people the way you want to be treated, the vibration changes. The vibration of love changes. So if there's anybody I had anything against this past month, I've changed my mind last night. And I said, wait, I'm not wasting my spiritual minutes on you. I'm not going to waste the time I have to be enlightened on complaining about you. I don't care what you do. I'm just going to love you for yourself and know that you too can live unconditionally loving. That's what we're here to do, to know that about each other. Look at somebody around you and just say, yes, you're the power of God. Let's say it to them. Tell them. Yeah. You are the power of God. So here are some rules to live by. Well, the first rule is start dating yourself. How many of you ever go on a date because you love yourself? Everybody's hand next week is going to have to go up. You're going to find a time where you have a date with yourself. And here's another one. As I began to love myself, I found that anguish and emotional suffering are only warning signs that I was living against my own truth. Today, I know this is authenticity. As I began to love myself, I understood how much it can offend somebody if I try to force my desires on this person, even though I knew the time was not right and the person was not ready for it, and even though the person was me. Today, I call it respect. As I began to love myself, I understood that at any circumstance, I am in the right place at the right time, and everything happens at the exact right moment, so I could be calm. Today, I call it self-confidence. As I began to love myself, I quit stealing my own time, and I stopped designing huge projects for the future. Today, I only do what brings me joy and happiness, things I love to do, and that makes my heart cheer. And I do them in my own way and in my own rhythm, and today I call that simplicity. As I began to love myself, I freed myself of anything that is no good for my health. Food, people, things, situations, everything that drew me down and away from myself. At first I called this a healthy egoism. Today I know it is love of myself. That brought me a pause. How many of us have habits of doing things that really aren't about loving ourselves? Maybe we want to change them. As I began to love myself, I refused to go on living in the past and worrying about the future. Now I only live for the moment where everything is happening. Today I live each day, day by day, and I call it fulfillment. As I began to love myself, I recognized that my mind can disturb me and it can make me sick. Anybody ever had that? But as I connected to my heart, my mind became a valuable ally. Today, I call this connectedness wisdom of the heart. We no longer need to fear arguments, confrontations, or any kind of problems with ourselves or others. Even stars collide, and out of their crashing, new worlds are born. Today I know that is life. Those were written by Charlie Chapman. And they're words to live by. And it's all about falling in love with yourself and sharing that love with other people. Not needing them to love you so you can love you, but loving yourself so you can love them. Because when we don't love ourselves, when we don't love life, we cannot love other people. So, today's lesson is about you finding what you can do to change some of your ideas, your thoughts, your behavior, so you can love other people. And maybe you want to come and sit, and we'll come up with a conversation about what we do with Mary's Garage and how we can help other people. Because that's what we're called to do. I know it. And I bless each and every one of you. To your highest and greatest good, I love you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you could feel that love of yourself popping up, couldn't you? Yeah. So would our prosperity receivers please come forward? Whatever is your gift today. And if you want to make a special check out and put parking lot on it, you could always do that. And I'm not sure, can you go online and put parking lot online? Yes? Larry says yes. I'll have to try it. If it doesn't work, call me, so then I can have him fix it. I just want to say, I so appreciate Larry DeRusha. He is amazing. And I just feel we're all so blessed to have him in our life. And another person I want to acknowledge is my granddaughter, Kayla, sitting back there. Thank you. Because what Kayla does is bring such joy to my life because she wants to go to every single one of the Muni Opera shows. We've seen 2, and Wednesday we're seeing Mary Poppin. Yeah. And if I didn't have a granddaughter, I wouldn't be going to every single one of those shows. So I'm so grateful for her. And then her fiance, Jake, who does the graphics for us every Sunday. And streams it. I mean, begin appreciating everyone. Michelle, who comes in on Tuesday or Thursday, and Tom, who's here every Tuesday, he does the bulletin, and Michelle's working in the bookstore, and other people are working with her now, and thank you for that. And thank you to Harold. When I pull up and Harold's here, my heart expands. It does. Yours too. Yours too, I know. So just go around acknowledging people. And remember that next week we are having not a potluck, but a luncheon, a barbecue luncheon. So plan on just staying afterwards and eating with everybody in our connection hall. So whatever is your gift, I just bless it. And I give thanks to all those online that are mailing in checks, that are calling that number. Text the word give to 314-675-7655. Because giving is part of our nature. And as we love ourselves, we want to give. And whatever we give, bless it. It doesn't have to be like everything you own, but it has to be part of that flow, because that's how it comes back to you. So I just bless you knowing it's God in action, and so I let it be, and so it is. And now for our lady in red, Lady J.
Oh, that was some kind of talk.
Thank you.
I'm going to start. Is it okay if I call you the Radical Reverend?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to slice a piece of that and let's make it go viral, everybody. As you know what we're talking about, women's rights. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I wanted to mention, because normally we would get this long introduction about me. I forgot to give it to her.
Well, you do it.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Multi-talented, award-winning entertainer. Toured with trumpeter, I'm a music director, trumpeter, vocalist with Rock and Roll and Blues Hall of Famer Mr. Albert King, performing on shows with Robert Cray, B.B. King, Muddy Waters, Bo Diddley, Etta James, and more. Reigned as the Las Vegas Queen of Blues for winning Best Blues Performer, Best Blues Band, and inducted into the Entertainers Hall of Fame. I received the Women in Arts Award from the National Daughters of the American Revolution. How might have things changed, right? I've appeared on ABC World News Tonight, America's Got Talent, The Bernie Hayes, and other TV shows. Winner of the National Blues Museum Songwriting Competition for my song, Corona, You Make Me Sick. And I have some of those available for you. Also the semifinalists in International Songwriting Competition for my 18-piece big band song, Hideaway. And I performed with Grammy winner Bobby Rush, Robbie Montgomery of Sweetie Pies, and opened for Nina Judd, amongst others. And the big thing I wanted to tell you is I am now official recording artist with Earwig Music, and we're having a CD release party, which is free on July 22nd. I want everyone to come down. Just go to my website, ladyjhouston.com, and RSVP.
All right.
Thank you. All right, Maestro. Oh, beautiful, for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, America, may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesty above the fruit that played. I just want to say, America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brother and sisterhood, from a sea to shine. And say, I just want to say one more time, America, America, God shed His grace on thee. say to shine and say, oh, don't forget about our women's rights. No, 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 no. Shine and thank you.
Wow. That was fabulous. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's do a little prayer work right now. So if you'd like to just close your eyes. Oh, take a deep breath. I'd like to start out with us recognizing if there's anybody that we've held in our mind, maybe with judgment, or maybe they're in pain, or maybe they're sick. Whatever we want healed, let's just call it out right now, whoever or whatever. Todd and Tammy. Women's. And now call out your own name. Mary Jean. So right now we're just going to go into Mary's garage, in that space where the divine resides, where that place where is unconditional love. We're going to thank the ego for all it's done all these years for us, and right now we're just going to let it go. And know that we unconditionally love ourselves, because we love that divine that is our very life. And whenever that ego pops up with judgment, we calmly say, go back inside. It's not your time right now. For right now is the time for unconditional love for every part of ourselves. Unconditional love, the parts that we love and the parts that are in the process of being transformed. So right now, it's that power of love that is our very life that moves us forward into enlightenment. And I believe that there is somebody here in this audience right now, around the world, that is enlightened. And as we talk to them, we are enlightened. Our hearts open. We get that feeling of, wow, isn't this fabulous? We let go of all thoughts to the contrary. We let go of any judgments. And we just love ourselves. We love ourselves even as the Master Jesus has loved us. And then we love those around us. And through love, we will transform what needs to be transformed. Through love, we'll make different decisions for our planet, for our life, for our sisters and brothers. Through love, we expand and express a greater today, a greater tomorrow. Take a deep breath. I bless each one of us on this road to enlightenment. I give thanks for each one of you. I give thanks for Amma for waking me up and telling me selfless love of self and others. I know these words to be true, that we move out today and our life is transformed. We get connected to Mary's Garage. We get connected to helping other people. Our life is different as of this moment, where we realize that we are here as emissaries of love. And then we're here to call that out, to make that prevalent, to show up on this world. I give thanks for each one of you. All my teachers, I give thanks. I give thanks for the opportunity to love you. I give thanks for learning to love me. Knowing this is so about all of us, I bless us on our journey home. And so I let it be, and so it is. Amen. Thank you. I felt I was in a temple. I love that. Sherry's going to be doing another one of her sound bath the first Friday in August.
August 5th, 7th, 8th, 7 to 8:30.
Oh, I thought you said 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Okay, on the 5th from 7 to 8:30. Let's do our affirmation. Oh, do we have one more song? Yes, we have another song. Let's welcome Lady J. Houston. After she's done. What? Yeah, after it. Yeah.
This is part of the Lady J. Houston show. Anyone has really good rhythm, I want to pass the tambourine to them. Okay, you don't have to have, okay, come on. All right, thank you. Don't be shy. Now, this song is about movement. Okay, so it's called When the Saints Go Marching In. All right, so we're going to do a parade right here in the church. So if you want to get on up and join us, and we're going to march around. We're going to march around. If you have a tissue or handkerchief, you can twirl that around. We're going to New Orleans with this march. Okay. Go ahead, Maestro. Walk around. Come on. Tambourine is in the lead. Okay. Gonna celebrate the 4th of America, 1776. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, Lord, I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching by. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, Lord, I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. To be in that number. When the saints go marching. Turn up the music. Oh, when the trumpet sounds a call. Oh, when the trumpet sounds a call. Oh, Lord, I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching in.
Thank you. And now a quick announcement. Brenda.
And Linda Joy. We want to invite all of you men and women to Schlafly's down in Maplewood today at 2 o'clock. The American Association of University Women is honoring the women's suffragettes that marched in St. Louis with a plaque. And so there's going to be a reception, so please come at 2 o'clock today at Schlafly's in Maplewood. The brew house in Maplewood, yeah.
Great. Can we have some beer?
You can have beer, you can have lunch, you can...
Great. Perfect.
And you can meet some women that you can get involved with.
Fabulous. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. And Joni Alsop, next week we'll be giving you a update on how you can get involved in voting. So I thank you for doing that all the time, Joni, because I went online the other night just to make sure I was registered, and I was. But the last time when you told me, I hadn't been, so I keep checking to make sure I'm still on there. Our closing affirmation, we'll stand and say it together. The universe, loving itself, is expressed as my self-love. Let's say it again. The universe, loving itself, is expressed as my self-love. God bless you. Have a wonderful week. Happy 4th of July.